Hi, I'm Mindy Stern.
I'm JD Cargill.
And I'm Michelle Arago, and this is Friendsome Then Some.
We are three best friends who met over 2 decades ago working in LA's local news scene, and we started this podcast to listen, learn, and laugh. Oh, do we laugh? On our journey to improving the midlife experience through the incredible power of friendship.
And each week we rip back the curtain on midlife, candidly exposing the biggest issues facing middle-aged people, often by sharing the intimate details of our own lives and our friendship. Through expert guests and celebrity interviews, we offer friendship-based tips, tricks, hacks, and solutions to living your best midlife. We are Midlife AF
and Flossom AH.
So here we go. It's
Friendsome and Then Some.
Oh, do we have some stuff to crow about today?
Oh my God. Hey, do you think anybody can tell that it's Pride Month?
No.
No,
Can
we're
you-
just,
What-
it
what we
looks
can
like
do?
a normal day in the 70s.
Okay, guess what day it is. Guess what month it
Actually,
is.
people who are listening on the podcast and not watching us on a video, they probably are like, what
If
are they
you are
talking
just
about?
listening, I urge you to go to the video.
It looks like a
let's
rainbow
just say,
exploded in our
Mindy,
studio.
No, a unicorn came, ran through, and pooped everywhere.
Let's be honest. Mindy went to TJ Maxx and bought the whole fucking store. Okay? And she says she does it for other people. She does it for her damn self. Let's be
she does.
honest.
Oh, my, Glenn's like, you're becoming your mother. I'm
love-
like, I know, isn't it fabulous?
gosh.
It's fabulous.
And I love that I'm the gay one, but all my rainbow stuff comes from you two.
You
like
just keep
all
saying,
of
are
it,
you
every year.
Is this your coming out party? You said to me, I'm like, it just might be.
Yeah, everybody.
Well, we
Everybody's
have
coming out.
amazing guests
Yes,
today.
we do.
And this is just, it tickled me, I would say, because I realized that Lindsey Horvath is our first repeat guest.
Lindsey
And
Horvath, the mayor of
she's
West
gonna be our
Hollywood.
annual guest. That's just it. That's just it. And she's brought her dear friend and colleague,
In
Sepi
politics.
Shyne.
That's right, Sepi Shyne. The coolest name
Welcome
ever.
to Friendsome Then Some.
Yay.
Oh my gosh, the
Look
crowd
at
is
that.
going
I
crazy.
mean, if you're not, people, you got to check this out because they are so colorful.
Yeah,
These
it's a
beautiful
visual day,
women.
people. It's if any time.
Let's get into it. Pride. Lindsey, you're our first repeat guest. We have loved having you on. Tell us what is going on in West Hollywood. What's
1
going on
year
with
later.
Pride? And I know you got a lot of
Well,
news.
you know what? Last year it was a major COVID
Yeah.
world. There was a lot of pivoting going on. So tell us how it's shifted and what's happening this year that has changed. You're able to do.
So
This is exciting.
West Hollywood is Pride 365 days a year. Good news, because last year during COVID, we had to figure out how to pivot to a virtual experience. There was still obviously the in-person All Black Lives Matter march, consistent with a theme of protest and a commitment to our diverse LGBTQ plus community throughout the Los Angeles region. And we were so proud to host that in West Hollywood. And this year we're continuing to have a mix of virtual and in-person events. The city of West Hollywood also hosts One City, One Pride, which is a whole series of events that began on Harvey Milk Day, May 22nd, and goes all the way through the end of June. And so we'll have virtual events. There will be in-person experiences with our business community. And actually, Councilmember Shyne is on the Pride subcommittee for the city, so she can give you even more detail than I can. But as you saw, we celebrated 30 years at the Abbey. We celebrated 10 years of Born This Way, and there's so much more fun in store. It's really an exciting time, and so important that we're celebrating Pride together in West Hollywood.
Yeah, you
my
mentioned
gosh,
you brought a friend, Sepi. I want to hear you as well. Sepi, tell us all about your role in politics and in your
a
contribution to
council
Gay
member,
Pride.
yeah.
Yeah.
Of course. So I'm a newly sworn in, now it feels like it's almost 6 months since December, council member in the city of West Hollywood. I am the first LGBTQ out Iranian elected official anywhere in the world.
Wow.
And the second lesbian to serve on the city council and the first woman of color. I'm proud to serve with Mayor Horvath. I am serving on our Pride subcommittee, and Mayor Horvath was absolutely correct in everything that we're doing. I really suggested to the Pride subcommittee and the Pride West Hollywood Chamber of Commerce, who's really in charge of putting Pride together this year, for them to go to the businesses and just tell them, you know what, we can't have a parade float, but that doesn't mean you can't be a stationary float. So I'm excited that the businesses hopefully are going to be dressing up their windows
that's
and
awesome.
stores.
That's brilliant.
So yeah, everybody can come out June 25th to the 27th.
We will be there with bells on, Can we
rainbows.
go back to actually, though, the 30th anniversary of the Abbey? It has been named the #1 gay bar in the world at one time. It has such an amazing history. And you guys made Born This Way right in front of the
Robertson,
bar.
right? Right down Robertson.
Born
Look
This
at
Way
that.
Road. Look how beautiful.
Wow.
It's in front of the bar.
Wow.
That's gorgeous.
And Lady Gaga showed up.
I mean, hello. Well, it's also the 10th anniversary of Born This Way, her song. So it was like a double party.
How did
Those
that
boots.
whole idea come together? Because
Yeah,
it's
we gotta hear
freaking
this.
genius.
Good.
Actually, Lady Gaga partnered with Elton John when I was mayor back in 2015 for a free concert on the Sunset Strip. And it was a wild time.
remember that.
And so I met her and her team, and they reached out to me earlier this year to create this partnership for this opportunity, and said they had this idea of something they wanted to do to commemorate the 10th anniversary. And they wanted to do it in West Hollywood because of her connection to the community here. They said, and she said that, the folks who are in the bars and out on the streets and, who have been her fans her entire career,
monsters.
that she wanted to be, that's who she wanted to celebrate with. And so it was really exciting to know that. And then it was the Abbey's 30th anniversary. So what a perfect location to put it on Robertson, and just to, be able to celebrate, be together, and, have some good community back after all of this time of being separated from one another. And it's so hard to be separated. And I know we had to do it to stay safe. And I know we're getting out of the pandemic and we see the light at the end of the tunnel, and we got to keep doing the things to keep us safe. But we also have to do the things that fill our hearts. And this was one of those things that, is so signature to West Hollywood.
Oh, so incredible. Sepi, were you down there? Did you and Lady Gaga do a dance or anything? Tell me all about it.
So here's the thing. I'm just going to back up a little bit. Lindsey brought an item forward at a city council meeting that essentially we all voted for because it sounded fabulous, that there was going to be some kind of street enhancement on Robertson Boulevard, because we've closed off Robertson Boulevard. It's called Out on Robertson for a pilot program. And Robertson is closed from Santa Monica to El Tovar Fridays at 6 p.m. till Monday to 2 a.m.
Oh, wow.
And
Saturday.
Yeah.
Like a pedestrian-only situation.
Yes, thank you. Saturdays, 6 p.m. till Mondays at 2 a.m. And so essentially, we knew that something was going to be happening, a street enhancement, but we didn't know what. And then the Friday before, I get an email saying, okay, we're giving a proclamation to David Cooley, who's the owner of the Abbey, for the 30th year anniversary. And Lady Gaga's Born This Way Foundation is going to be painting this Born This Way street enhancement. And Lindsey called me and I was super excited.
Whoa.
Lady, first of all, let's start with David Cooley and the Abbey. As a queer woman, the Abbey really has been for so long, 30 years. And first time I went to the Abbey, I lived up north. I moved to Southern California in 2006, was when I was visiting with my ex-partner. And it was the place we could be safe, we could dance, we could have coffee, we could eat. Yes, it's in West Hollywood, that is a sanctuary for all of us, but the Abbey really has been such a success story.
You're so
through the
right.
years
The
our community.
The Abbey was the first gay thing I walked into at 19. I was terrified, closeted, and came down from Santa Barbara where I was going to school at UCSB. And I was super, scared, and I was shaking. And this place back then, okay, this is dating me, but it was like a single door coffee shop with a pool table in the back and a bakery up front. And that was it.
Yeah, it started as a coffee shop.
And now it takes up the better part of Southern California. So we've arrived. The gays have grown. But it is such a meaningful place for so many in our community. Totally.
Yeah.
Well, what I love about is the friendship that it brings. And I was hearing David talk in an interview, and he said, the allies, a lot of people are saying allies now. The gay community or a gay neighborhood, I always tell people, and we said this last year, if you travel, go to a gay pride anywhere in the world, and you will make the best friends.
Absolutely.
You will have the best time. You don't have to be gay to go to the Abbey. Yeah. If you're an ally, you will have the best time. We spent Mindy's birthday, we did a bus tour of This Is Your Life, and we went to all these stops. The Abbey was the last stop. It was the best. The last stop, and we partied to the end of the night there, and it's just your chosen family. We talk a lot about friendship, obviously, this podcast. And Sepi, I'd love to hear your point of view too, being a woman of color and, like you said, the first Iranian to be in office as a council member there. Chosen family is a big deal in the friendship world, right?
Totally.
Like, you guys are my chosen family
100%.
for sure. And in the gay community, that's what it's all about.
Because a lot of times you don't have your own family, I mean, if they don't support you.
Many of us, when we come out as LGBTQ plus, we can get disowned. We face threats of violence, emotional and verbal abuse, mental abuse, and from our own families often. And so chosen family becomes our family. And many in the community, it's such a special meaning to have chosen family. And we're so blessed being able to be in West Hollywood. Our community of chosen family is very large. And when I came out, the Iranian community is very paternalistic, very similar to many communities of color that, push for traditional marriage. And it was very hard to come out. And there were a few family members that I don't, a few, not many, but a few that I didn't feel comfortable completely being myself at first.
They couldn't handle your shine, Sepi. They couldn't handle your shine.
Yeah, exactly. But through the years, they've come around too. But chosen family is important, and allyship. And thank you so much for saying, please, as allies, go to Pride Parades and go with your LGBTQ friends and chosen family, because it means so much to us to have support. I've had a couple of family come to Pride, and it's meant the world to me, because Pride is when we get to celebrate, be ourselves, be amongst each other, celebrate our wins, and look forward to what we need to accomplish. And when going to the Abbey, also I would say, make sure that you know what being an ally means, because it's important to also respect that this is an LGBTQ space that you're entering, and first know what it is to be an ally so that it remains LGBTQ oriented too.
So you better show up fabulous, is the point. And I you know what? Actually, the Pride in LA, by the way, is the last weekend of June, right? 25th through 27th. And it's going to be a little different combination, like you said, of virtual things.
Stationary.
And what I love is, like, even though the pandemic changed things up these last couple of years, what a great way to remember the importance of Pride. What a great way to really dig in. And because there's been some people have complained in the past that Prides are just big drinking fests and stuff. And I love the parades, of course. We want those back. But there's so much more to it. And there's so much more to really knowing about the history of our community and what people did to get us to a place where we could be celebrating the 30th anniversary of the biggest gay club in town with the biggest pop star in the world. I mean, that's huge. And you guys made it happen. Good job.
And that's part of the reason why the city wanted to do, all these, I think it's 40 days of Pride through One City, One Pride, because there's so much opportunity to highlight the voices of local artists, to make sure we're celebrating and honoring our history, to elevate and to give voice to all of the different parts of the LGBTQ plus family, to make sure that everybody sees themselves in the Pride that we celebrate in West Hollywood. And, we're very intentional in that regard, and we're very open in that regard, that we're able to welcome in a lot of different ways to celebrate and see Pride in our culture, in our history, and how we use all of that to build our future together.
I mean, and you feel it too. The second you drive into West Hollywood, I just feel comforted. I mean, there's so much beauty there as it is already. And as a politician, you two have been a big part of that. And let's talk politics for a second, shall we? What transition?
He went there.
A little bird told me, So are you going to be bummed, Sepi, if you no longer get to be on the council with Lindsey because she wins her race for
As
LA County Supervisor?
I'm rooting for you, Lindsey.
I will be ecstatic for Lindsey.
Right?
And obviously I'll be bummed to lose her. It'll be a very short time. We would have served on council, but I'll be absolutely excited for her.
And the truth is, I'll be thrilled to continue to work with Sepi however that's possible.
Yeah, well, I love
She's been an outstanding friend and community leader for many years. And while she just got onto the council, she's been doing a lot of stuff leading up to her service on the city council. And I first met her through women's events through HRC, and she just was always very warm and welcoming. So I expect that no matter what happens in the future, we'll be able to continue to work together.
I love that.
And how is it going? And also, just so people know, the LA County supervisors are wildly important. Like, they control the budget
in the whole country.
I mean, it's bigger than some state budgets, and there's only 5 of them, right? There's still, are they up it to 7?
No, it's
still 5. Are you running for Sheila Kuhl's seat? Is that who you're?
Yes. So Sheila Kuhl has decided to retire, and for those who don't know, she was the first openly gay elected official at the state level in the state of California. First openly lesbian, and she's just been a trailblazer in so many ways and fought so many fights
100%.
so we can enjoy the rights that we have today. And so when she decided that she wasn't going to seek re-election, that obviously shook a lot of folks. And I was approached by people in the community who are concerned about her departure, that, they were saying, we've heard your name rumored. I said, honestly, I'm not looking at that.
Wow.
I was thinking about doing some other things, and they said, we want you to take a look at this seat. We hope that you'll think about it because we'd like to support you. And so that, and this happens a lot with especially female candidates. We need to be asked sometimes 9 times before we consider running for office. And so, in fact, many people, many more than 9, asked me to think about it. So I called Supervisor Kuhl, who's been a friend and a mentor for many, many years throughout my career. And I said, people are asking me to think about this. What do you think? She's like, I think this is a great idea. And, we talked about it. She gave me some homework to do. And so I did that. And I came back to her and I said, if I'm going to do this, I want to have your support. I want to know that you believe in me. And she said, okay, let's talk about what that looks like. And that led to me being able to announce with her endorsement.
Wow.
And so she is supporting me for her seat, and a whole coalition of folks are supporting me too. And I'm very excited about that. And so it's all kind of coming together fast and furious, but we're excited to be building a team full of all kinds of diverse people to come together and work in partnership for the goals that we know are essential at the county level.
Wow. What an incredible mentor. I mean, Sheila Kuhl. By the way, everybody, rent the documentary Political Animals if you want to know her story. It is fascinating. And she didn't just wake up LA County Supervisor one day. Big shoes to fill, Lindsey, but I know you can do it.
We have faith in you. Carry that torch, sister.
Oh, I believe in it.
Thank you.
God, what an incredible
Sepi, we
role.
love that you've joined the Friendsome too.
You are in the Friendsome.
And I love your
She
voice.
has to be your next repeat guest.
Yay! We're going to hand up. We're going to Sheila Kuhl you. We're just going to walk you right in. It's a great thing. All right. Oh, man, what an incredible day. You guys, I love you so much. Thank you for being so supportive of me all these years. And
Are you kidding
Mindy, thank you
me?
for buying out TJ Maxx and so that I could have every rainbow thing in the world here.
We got to save it for next year. It's just going to be in the storage. Or we can just leave it out because rainbows are fabulous.
They are
They really
fabulous.
are. I loved rainbows since I knew we would be friends because I had a rainbow room as a child full of rainbows.
Yeah,
I knew that
see?
love was love and that rainbows were about the happiest place you can be. My mom painted a big rainbow on my wall.
really
I have
are.
a picture of it. Yeah, it's so cute. My bedroom was full.
We have this amazing guy on the show. He's a Reiki healer, and he took us through this meditation. And at the end of the meditation, what did he say? Hug the rainbow.
Hug the rainbow. So let's hug the rainbow with Lindsey and Sepi as we
Virtual
thank
hug,
them for
ladies.
being on our show.
We want to hug Sepi. Give us a virtual hug.
Hug Sepi.
We're excited. So the parade, now this parade is at the end of the month, right? It's the parade. And then is this everywhere? Call me ignorant. Is it everywhere across the country?
There's
No,
prides in
each
cities
city has
everywhere.
a
It's not the
different
same
one,
time.
so you
Every
go to
city.
different
Are there
ones.
any cities where it's never been where it is now for the first time? Like,
Oh,
are they
sure.
finally like?
Well,
do
they
you know
had
that kind
one
of stuff?
in small.
I
that
met
small
George
town.
at Venice Pride. Who knew there was a Venice Pride? It was me and George and the Roosterfish and one flag. But hey,
there is pride
Pride's
everywhere. And that is so important. I remember going to Pride in Paris, and it's just kind of this unifying thing that, you know, once you've been a part of Pride and you go experiencing it somewhere else, you know, it's just,
San Francisco.
immediately you feel like no matter where you are, you're a part of community.
Yep,
and so I definitely encourage people to check out where Pride is happening around you. Come to West Hollywood the last weekend of the month if you're nearby, and make sure that you're celebrating Pride 365 a year, because we need everybody to be out loud and proud about who they are.
Out loud and proud.
Yeah.
I love that.
I love you guys.
Thank you so much.
And we're supporting you for county supervisor.
That's right.
Thank you.
Vote Lindsey
Nice to
Horvath.
meet you,
Thank you,
Sepi.
ladies.
Thank you
Nice
both
to meet
for being
you, too.
here. Take care.
Did you like what you heard today on our podcast? Or did you like what you saw on our vidcast? Were you watching?
How about sending us a comment or suggestion on any topic you want us to talk about?
We'll have new episodes every Tuesday. Please join in the conversation on our Facebook page, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and follow us on Instagram. You can download our podcast anywhere you get your podcasts. See you next time on
Friendsome Then Some.